Ah yes, Luigi's Mansion 2. I don't recall playing the game that much back then, but the trailer sure did get me excited. I mean, it's Luigi's Mansion. It's Luigi! I didn't mention this before in my Luigi's Mansion review, but that game was meant to be played in 3D. But due to having a TV displaying 3D being so goddamn expensive, it was cancelled. The 3D, not the game. But once there were talks about the 3DS, the Shigeru Miyamoto bike felt like it was the perfect opportunity to make a sequel. But this time, he would be supervising, leaving development on the next level games, who've done games like Punch-Out Wii and the Mario Strikers series. They were about to show off a gauntlet-like Metroid prototype to Nintendo, but when they were told that they were going to be working on a Luigi's Mansion sequel, they were excited. Looking this up, I nearly thought the prototype was essentially Metroid Prime Federation Force. That would have been funny. And so, Luigi's Mansion 2, or Dark Moon for America, released in March 2013. So, does it live up to the first game? I guess we'll have to find out. The game starts with Professor Egad working with some friendly looking ghosts. This is apparently thanks to the Dark Moon above Evershade Valley, until King Boo appears and destroys the Dark Moon, making all of the ghosts chaotic and mischief, forcing Egad to hide to his bunker. Meanwhile, back at Luigi's house, oh, look at that! It's the Rank D mansion from the first game! At least we know which ending's canon. Anyway, Egad appears on Luigi's TV and involuntarily transports him to his bunker, using his pixel shifter. Might want to stay away from those things, buddy. The effect might be permanent, and you could end up small! Ignore the intro. From this point on, your objective is to find the broken pieces of the Dark Moon to open up more of Evershade Valley, and eventually restore the ghosts before they can take over the world. This time, there are 5 mansions. Well, I wouldn't call most of them mansions, but anyway. There's Gloomy Manor, your typical haunted house, Haunted Towers, which is filled with plants, Old Clockworks, right in the middle of the desert, Secret Mine, the icy place, and Treacherous Mansion, which has a bit of everything. This time, the game is mission-based. Each one lasts in about 10 to 20 minutes. They're not much, honestly. They usually boil down to find a way into this room, catch some ghosts, find the thing to get closer to the Dark Moon piece, etc, etc. Sometimes you'll have to escort a toad to safety, which isn't as bad as far as escort missions go. There's also this mission where you're just sucking up cobwebs. Why do I gotta do this? This means you don't have as much freedom to explore depending on the mission, and you pretty much always know where to go. And sure, you can explore the place, but it's not as much incentive to explore. In the last game, all you really had to go off of where you needed to go next are the keys to unlock doors. You've just got to figure out the rest on your own. And hey, might as well look for some money on the way. And here, it's either just for money, which adds up to your overall rank at the end of the mission, that and get some upgrades, or gems, which, when all are collected per mansion, you get a nice looking Luigi statue. And while I'm pretty sure I'm sounding negative here, it kinda makes sense. Short little bursts of gameplay for when you're on the road. That being said though, I do wish there were checkpoints within each mission. Not that I died during my playthrough. Well, twice during the boss battle. But imagine making it through a really long and annoying mission, only to die and having to restart all over again. At least a halfway point or something. Speaking of portable, the controls are a bit different due to being on the 3DS. You're able to move around like normal, but when you're sucking or blowing or using a torch, you're forced to sidestep and use the motion controls to move up and down. And there isn't a way to move left or right when doing so. You can also use X to look up and B to move down, and these buttons are also used for opening doors, using and checking items, and running, which can be a bit inconvenient. I just wanted to get those coins up there, but I keep going in this door, stop it! You also catch the ghosts a bit differently too. You still stun them using your torch, but now you've got to press the A button to flash them, and then suck them up, which works pretty well. And going back to the remake of the first game, yeah, it just won't work there for some reason. but then again, the controls weren't really built for this game, and especially this remake. But now that I have the new 3DS, the C-Stick isn't very great, but it is nice to play the game with no lag. Sorry, back to 2. After that, you can suck them up like normal, and if you pull back for long enough, you can do a charge suck to bring the number down faster. And you can also dodge while sucking them up, so the other ghosts can't hit you as much, which is honestly really good. I can't stress how annoying it was in the first game with how defenseless you were while sucking ghosts up. If there's anything else happening in the room, you're gonna get a couple hits. And there are certainly different types of ghosts. There are the normal green and red ones, the orange brainy ones that will throw stuff at you, the goopy ones where you have to suck up the goop and then flash them, the blue ones where you have to find where they're hiding first, the purple ones which likes to scare Luigi while sucking up other ghosts and are really annoying, just leave me alone, and more. And the green ones will sometimes be holding up weapons and stuff to block out the light, so you'll either have to wait till after they attack, until they lift up the bucket over their head for example, or suck the shades off, and then flash them. The boos also return, but now they can turn themselves and other objects invisible too, so you've got to use the dark light device to reveal them and the boos. And pull the turns, okay. When you find all the boos per mansion, you get an extra mission, which is just catching ghosts as fast as you can. The same mission each time. Huh. You can also use the dark light device to reveal paw prints, which brings me to this dog. He just keeps taking the most important item to progress, and soon after you find him, he runs away. Sure, he can revive you if you have a golden bone on you, I think. Again, only died twice. But still, God! Okay, I guess he's kinda cute. And the bosses are pretty good. They're not as interesting as the first game. Oh wow, the same type of ghost possessing different tins. Ah, my old enemy. Stairs. But they're still pretty good. Oh yeah, and this game has multiplayer. Man, I wish I tried this out back then, especially online. Why didn't I ever give it a go? It's actually kinda fun. In Thrill Tower, or Skyscraper in US, why were there a lot of regional changes with this game? Even the pixel shifter here is called the Pixelator in America. There are 3 modes for up to 4 of you can choose from. Catch all of the ghosts, find a hatch before time runs out, and find Polterpups. Do that to move on to the next floor and reach the boss. You can team up to catch ghosts together or split up to cover more ground. You can even play by yourself if you want to, though I don't recommend it since it can be a little tough. And this is also one of the few 3DS games to support download play, and when you, as the kid who's playing using download play, has to leave your friend who owns the game, you can keep playing Thrill Tower by yourself if you want to, or connect with others. This is honestly really cool. Probably one of the best uses of download play I've seen. Multiplayer and a demo rolled into one. Graphically, the game looks pretty good. A lot more facial expressions than the first game. And while it's not a huge showcase, they use the 3D effects pretty well. The game does lag a couple of times, even crashed on me one time, but it's overall good. The charm is amazing though, especially Luigi, look at my boy! And Charles Martinet absolutely kills it. Apparently this was inspired by, believe it or not, Mr. Bean out of all things. And honestly, yeah, I can kinda see that. The ghost designs, on the other hand, are a little too goofy for me. They're not bad, but the first game made them just a little bit more scarier. Especially the portrait ghosts. I don't know, it kinda brings down the scary elements of the game a lot. The music is good too. Not as amazing as the first game, but I do like the tunes. The main theme and its many different variations, the piano sound that's totally not from Inspector Gadget, and I know this isn't technically a new melody, but I like the ringtone from the DS, or Dual Scream, which is essentially the Game Boy Horror, and it certainly makes up for the amount of times EGAD calls you. Once you get to the last mansion, you find out that Mario has been turned into a painting yet again, and King Boo is the one behind it all. The game tries to keep King Boo a secret with all these hints too. Like, why? He's in the intro and the startup loading icon. Heck, even in loads of advertisements, this is just Crash 2 all over again. So after a few missions, he's activated a portal that brings back a load of ghosts which could collapse the dimensions. Go! Ghostbusters! And after catching all the ghosts similar to the extra missions and the boss encounter, we get the last of the Dark Moon pieces. But King Boo pulled us back in. You're painting the town red? Dude, isn't this a Mario game? Wait. And after not gonna lie, an underwhelming boss fight, we return to the real world, free Mario with some nice brotherly love. Take that, Matt Pat! And all the ghosts become nice again, ending the game. And that was Luigi's Mansion 2. What do I think of it? Well, not as good as the first game, but still a great game. It's not as big as Luigi's Mansion 1, but it's perfect for a game you want to play in short bursts. And so much Weegee charm. A game worth trying out, especially if you're worried about trying out the first game. Recently, however, the game has gotten a remake of sorts for the Switch, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. They didn't even call it Dark Moon in America. This is revenge for Return to Dreamland Deluxe and Ripto's Rage. The game has this big graphical upgrade, which looks much better, but not as good as Luigi's Mansion 3, which is weird. The lip syncing is much better, but the blinking animations are the same for some reason. You can now control Luigi using the right stick, which makes sucking much easier, but it doesn't really help too much with the strobe bulb or dark light device. Still very helpful, but you can also still look up and down with X and B, which still makes you run and enter doors. Stop going into doors! There's also this weird bug with the results screen where it plays the bunker music while it's showing up, then it plays the result music, and then it plays the bunker music again as the results screen leaves. It's weird. This is probably its biggest issue. And the Thrill Tower, or Skyscraper which is now its official name, is back, online and all. This is the best version of the game, no doubt. But I can't help but feel like they could have added a little bonus or something to justify the €50 price range. I mean, the remake was done by the same people who did the Skyward Sword HD remake, so I guess it makes a little bit of sense. But this feels like 3D World plus Bowser's Fury without the Bowser's Fury. And also, since it was made with a portable console in mind, it feels a little weird here. Like a mobile game remade for the Switch kind of weird. Remember the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pack and how they ripped courses from Tour? And even though it looks better, you can still feel that Tour vibe? This is kinda how I feel. But maybe I'm nitpicking. Unless you already have the game on a 3DS, you should get this version. And from what I hear, it's doing well sales wise, and new and old players are finding new interest in this game thanks to this remake, so yeah, maybe it's just me. And before you ask, this isn't part of the Super Mario Ton. Alright, so that'll do for this This is not Let's Play. That will do it for this review of Luigi's Mansion 2. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe, share this with everybody you know and love, support me on Patreon, and keep playing more video games, why don't you? That really helps me out a lot, knowing the fact that there are more people who play Nintendo games every single second of their lives. The only times you shouldn't be playing Nintendo games is when you're playing Spyro games. And that means a lot to me too. So either one do, and that would somehow support me. So that will be just fine. And I am really sorry about how late it is. A little bit annoyed at how late my package for Luigi's Mansion 2 HD arrived. But yeah, I really enjoyed playing both games. Probably wasn't a good idea to play them both back to back, but no harm, no done. It didn't drive me crazy in any way, so at least there's that. I did enjoy replaying through Luigi's Mansion 2 since it has been a while, and I did enjoy comparing the first game to the second game and going back to when the game was made for a handheld in mind. That was a very interesting journey to go through. Short journey, mind you, though. And yeah, I was actually considering making this part of the Super Mario Ton, but yeah. But the next review will be Super Mario Bros. 3, as voted by you guys on Twitter, the social media that will never be called as that one letter. But we'll say this, Metroid Prime review isn't too far behind, especially with the announcement of Metroid Prime 4. Thank God. But I'll probably be focusing a little bit more on the Super Mario Ton, just a bit more. That and most likely Sonic X Shadow Generations when that comes out. But we'll see. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed playing through the game and making this review. Bye bye. Oh, and by the time this bit of recording comes out, it's my birthday tomorrow. Yay! Okay, bye.